Hello, fam, and welcome back to another edition of George's Corner. I'm your host, George Lee Jones. Let's get started. I want to put a bow or ribbon on last week's discussion about ego because something else came to my mind that I wanted to make sure that you guys had as part of your arsenal or toolkit, and that is when dealing with ego, keep in mind that pride is a huge contributing factor. I would say that pride is your your super unleaded gas compared to your regular gas because it fuels your ego. And typically, if not if, because pride is involved, stubbornness is usually its best friend not far behind. So keep in mind those factors when dealing with your ego, which serves you no purpose of positivity at all, that having pride prevents you from a lot of things, and being stubborn doesn't allow you to open your eyes to the reality of what's going on around you, within you, and how it affects others. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on that. Now, I want to talk about choice today. Yes, choices. Freedom to do as you please. And the reason I want to talk about that today is I was having a conversation with someone who asked me a question, and it was a question that had been bounced around betwixt or between numerous colleagues of this individual. And before I go any further, yes, I had permission from this individual to talk to you guys about that. The question was this: if, and of course, you know, I believe that there is no if, it exists. The question was, if God exists, why would he allow poverty, wars, and all those other bad and ugly things that happen to us as individuals along our journey? Now, before I go into this, I want to first say, and you've all heard this before, but I want to preface it: bad things happen to good people inexplicably all the time. Again, bad things happen to good people inexplicably all the time. So, my way of answering the question is this. He said to me, you know, one of the biggest gifts that God has given us is freedom of will, freedom of choice. Why would he do that? And if he exists, why would there be wars, poverty, and things of that nature? So I thought about it for a moment, and this is the answer I came up with. I don't know if this is going to help you or not, but I believe this to be my truth. Okay? Follow me. If you had the opportunity to have a game that you created using your rules, your pieces and everything, and you created all the pieces to this game, which one would you rather have? A game where you put the pieces all together, you make the moves for them, you walk away from that game, you come back a little while later, and the game's pieces and everything are still in the same position that you left them in because you have full control over the game, and of course, nothing's going to happen. So, in my estimation, the game becomes a little bit boring. Maybe for you, it doesn't. Now, flip side of that coin, side B, you create this game. You give the pieces intelligence, i.e., its own free will. You place the subject matter or the content there for them to decide the moves they're going to make. Now, you walk away. You come back. For better or worse, there has been change. Either they have progressed, done things in a very productive manner that's positively conducive for all, or these pieces have made alliances or joined sides against one another and made it a more competitive situation. So therefore, as the creator of this game, you're now looking to see what your pieces have come up with, their idea, their truth of what this game should be. Okay? I hope you're following me with this. Now, I'm going to wrap it up with, because God gave us freedom of will, choice to do whatever we want to do, the question can't be, why would God allow poverty, famine, and wars? Because giving us freedom of choice, did he not allow us to make those decisions? Question mark. My opinion, don't blame God for those things. If wars are being facilitated by mankind, isn't mankind responsible for those wars? If poverty exists, because we know this is true, and that rich people are here, and we know this to be true, didn't those people who are rich make choices that got them rich? Didn't poor people make choices that put them in poverty? If there are people starving, why would you blame God for the starvation if people have the ability to feed other people? Again, it goes to choices. So when you're pondering things about, well, God's not listening to me, or God doesn't answer my prayers, since we live in a physical plane with other people just like ourselves, why don't we use what I talked about earlier? Think. God gave you a mind, gave you a choice, gave you other people to deal with. Again, I don't know who this is for, but I just want you to really give thought to your actions. We all know actions have consequences, but because we have freedom of choice and freedom of will, I would think that that is the most freeing opportunity you could have. Because wouldn't life be boring if God just made each and every one of us as robots, and we knew every move that everything was going to make and what was going to become? There would be no fascination into that. There would be no reason for imagination. And you certainly could not be a co-creator of your destiny. These are just all things I want you to think about when you're, again, blaming others. Even if you're blaming God, are you not making yourself a victim? And on this show, we talked about making ourselves victors, not being victimized, taking full responsibility for our actions. It's tantamount to you being in a car that you own and you let somebody else drive it. If they crash your car, yeah, they were at the wheel, but ultimately it's your responsibility because, yes, it's your car. I'm not going to belabor this anymore. I just wanted to bring that to your attention, okay? Love yourselves. Be great, good, and kind to others, meaning practice love and benevolence. Oh, yeah? And always, always be learning something new. Until next time, fam, I'm your host, George Lee Jones. Have a great and wonderful rest of your week. Peace.